Hey everybody, today we're talking about the Audi A5, taking a quick little drive here as someone who's new to the brand. And take a look at that gorgeous color there with the rims. A nice sparkle to it. This is the S line. Very, very nice. From the back as well. The Sportback looks very, very good, especially next to that GT. (2024) Audi A5 Sportback. This one for $55,605. And let's take a look. Let's take a drive. This one's going to be a little bit difficult to get into because my back's hurt. Oh boy, yeah, it's a tight fit, and it feels like a sauna. Been in the sun for a little. 15 miles so far on this one. Let's get her started. Very nice and quiet, as it should be. That's only because the door's still open. So now we're gonna move the seats. Comparing this to the Audi Q7, no dual monitor situation. So depending on if you like to have your controls fully electronic or not, although this actually, as you can see, it interacts if I'm just touching it. I'm not even clicking it, but I do kind of like the old analog buttons there. We do have to kind of air condition this vehicle right now. We have this beautiful wood trim here, your piano black, glossy black interior. Very nice. We're going to adjust the steering wheel, so it's going to be a little bit better. There we go. That's perfect. And with the seating as well, I'm a pretty big guy here with back issues. For those who didn't watch the Q7 video, I've just injured my back. And one thing I will say is, compared to the Q7, it is tight. This is my first time in an A5 Sportback, and I'm not sure if this would be the perfect vehicle for me, just due to the fact that it is a little tight. But one thing that I do like is this, you can adjust, and it's not a thick roof. This is the first vehicle I've actually had this in where I am still able to drive this car comfortably, relatively, because I, first off, am not getting hit by this, where in my previous Volvo S60, it was kind of jabbing in a little bit, and that one was a tough roof, where the toughness indicated that, hey, if I had a hat on, or if my hair was styled in such a way that I would not be able to comfortably sit there, I'd have to lean my seat a little bit back. Obviously, I'm not trying to lean my seat a lot back due to my back situation, so if someone's looking for a sporty vehicle, they're going to be in the know that it's going to be a tight fit. There's going to be a lot. But in this, I do have good leg room. So I definitely have moved the seat as far back as I can. I've got a lot of great leg room here. You have your blind spot, as with typical Audi fashion. And we're going to take it for a spin here. So I'm very, very excited. Although, again, if I was looking for more room, I would probably go into the A7. That's if I was looking for a Sportback. Also for the back, not a whole bunch of space. But also we're talking about different price points at that point, and different engines, different MPG. So this would be a very, very nice vehicle for someone who goes to work and wants to have a little bit of fun, because this one, I think, will have a little bit of a kick to it. You have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, one of my favorites here. That's how you adjust your mirrors there. So that's the first and foremost thing. Every time you get into a vehicle, always make sure, you try and see as much as possible outwards. You don't want to see your car, because you can always lean over and see your car, but you want to have as much visibility as possible. And then with this, I know it doesn't seem like that in the camera, but I do have good visibility there as well. And now I am ready to go. So very, very excited about this car. Depending on the version you get, you can either be at 6.1 seconds or 5.4 0 to 60 time, and you're still under 300 horses there, even in the top end. So you're in the 200s, low 200 or higher mid 200s for horsepower, so a little bit more than my older S60, and that's perfectly fine for smaller vehicles. you have a lot. First off, in America, there's no Autobahn. There's very few areas where you can speed. But just to get, if you're late to work or if you want to accelerate a little quickly, but still within legal limits on the highway, 260 plus horsepower is just enough for you. Or 201 in the smaller horsepower version. Either way, it is more than enough to handle this vehicle. But we're going to put it into dynamic mode. This is driving like a client would, because a client who's new to the brand, because I am new to the brand. Both in the fact that this is my first week that I'm working with Audi. And there we are. We have put it into, right now, we have just brought the screen up. Now we're in dynamic. Now we're ready to go. And I can see it there on this beautiful cluster there. We are going to, looks like someone was jamming out recently. It's a BPM. You're going to have a little bit of fun with this vehicle and take a look at that. The Quattro system is one of the best all-wheel drive systems, and each vehicle has, there's different categories of vehicles that have different drivetrains. There's 4 different Quattro versions from what I've learned. And just the way this handles in the snow, from people's opinions, from driving some of the pre-owned Audis I've had in the past, it is a very, very fun car, especially if you like to drive a little bit faster. You are in the safe hands of a very good all-wheel drive system. First off, if you don't have all-wheel drive, it's you shouldn't be experimenting in the snow unless you want to drift and you know what you're doing. But with a very good all-wheel drive system, you can have a lot of fun, potentially, racing some people on a racetrack, right? In not the best conditions. It's a little wet. It's a little foggy, gloomy. You are in the safe hands of your Quattro system. But anyways, let's get this started. We are going to wait for our turn, and we're going to legally accelerate to a nice speed of 50 miles per hour here. Actually hoping we are able to get away with this, because with the Q7 video, there's traffic and we were not able to. But here it is. We are going for it. Woo! That is a nice kick, and that is it. We are slowing down. That is a very nice kick to that. Wow, that car reacts really quick. That is a fun car. Oh, man. Now when you get behind the wheel, you actually drive this thing, you're like, all right, I can deal with that. That's not a problem. I'm a big guy. I mean, obviously, I've grown to expect that in any vehicles. In the Maserati in front of us, same thing. So that Maserati is a little bit less than reliable, that's for sure. But they're fun cars. They're loud cars. These cars are quiet. First off, the turn indicator. Let me turn down the AC a little bit. Just the way going over bumps and driving very casually. Oh, smooth steering. Very, very nice. Oh, yes. This is a vehicle that you forget about everything else. You are in your own world, and you're having a little bit of fun here. And we just went over bumps, and my back isn't, my back is exploding, but it's not exploding from the vehicle and the way it's driving over. It's exploding from the way it just, look at that Audi's coming up ahead of us right now. Yes, also, I think that was a A5. I think that was just the convertible version. But with this, you actually have a very comfortable ride, a very, very fun, fast, but still economical ride. And it's not the craziest sports car in the world, but you're not looking for that, because if you were, you'd be looking for the S5. You'd be looking for the RS5. This is the perfect car for the price point to get you where you're going in class, in style, make you a happy camper, and my back's in relatively good shape. We are putting on the heated seats, so my lumbar can feel a little bit of that nice warmth hugging around it, caressing it. Yes. Oh, yes, this is perfect. Now, as I do, if I don't have that much space, I'm going to open up the sunroof. We're going to have a little bit of fun here. It's a beautiful day. This is exactly what this car is designed for. I kind of wish I had a cabrio as well. If I was to get a vehicle actually like this, I would get the convertible top. Even though we're in Chicago, I want to be able to use it for 9 months of the year. It's because, first off, I love the sound of cicadas. No, I'm kidding, but that's what those are if you're from out of state and viewing this. Pretty crazy. They're everywhere now. They're just flying all around. Even going into work today, I ran over 2 cicadas on my windshield. I had a cicada that went through the sunroof earlier last week, and it was crawling on my neck, so that was kind of fun. But these cars are great. You know, you take the sunroof down, you're gonna have a little bit of fun. There's a bunch of Audis all over the place. Here's a Audi Q8 that just passed in a beautiful bright blue, and just going, ooh, this car wants to go when it's in dynamic mode. But obviously for the times where you want to relax, for someone who doesn't necessarily want to be surrounded by noise, that one, wow, that was loud by those cicadas. Speaking of noise, let me close that and notice how, yeah, those cicadas are gone. It's very faint. That was actually, I didn't even intend that, but that was actually a pretty good advertisement right there of Audi's quietness. Wow. So you don't like cicadas? You live in Illinois, buy an Audi because, you know, you're not going to hear them as much. BMW, yeah, they make pretty fast, sporty cars, but they're not as quiet. And also, they don't have as much room. Some of the BMWs I've driven a lot, don't have as much room as the comparable Audis. And there's an Audi Q5 behind us. I mean, there's just Audis all over the place. Super, super popular choice around the area here. We have one of the largest dealerships in the entire state, as well as one of the largest in the U.S., I believe. So very, very nice, enjoyable drive. It just feels like a car you'd certainly want to have, and I like it. Let's kick it up again. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, unfortunately, it's no Autobahn, so we can't speed, but it is a very fun car that you could probably have an enjoyable time on the Autobahn with. So, my honest impression, it is a excellent car. It is an excellent car. I have to learn about this vehicle, but I've just started, so we will be making some more in-depth detailed videos on this later. But this was just a very enjoyable experience for someone who's actually never been in an A5. I've been in an RS5. Now that one was completely different because it was a different generation. It was a 2014 RS5. And that one was a convertible top. That one was pretty funky. That one was loud. It was growling. It was ready to go. But you don't always want that, especially for someone like me with tinnitus and sensitive ears. I love racing. I love going fast. I love growling cars. But not always. And sometimes those cars, well, they just vibrate you all over the place. They're going to be very crazy vehicles where, for most scenarios in America, you're never going to be able to fully experience that. And that's where the A5 comes in. Because for a fraction of the price, you are going to have all the luxury aspects of it. And we are back. So let me show you this vehicle from the exterior, how it looks a little bit further away in the parking lot, and two of my favorite things about it, as just someone who's new to it completely. Sound system, and how quiet it is. As soon as you open the window, they're repairing a wheel there on a beautiful A8. I mean, you just can't get tired of that. And this is a smaller vehicle. This isn't the luxury, you know, Q8, Audi A8, even, look at that A4 Avant there. Even the A6, this is still very quiet, very luxury for a vehicle that's not top of its class. So you're getting a lot of the experiences that you would with those higher end vehicles, but for a fraction of the price. From the exterior, two of my favorite things I would say is the styling, the Sportback style, the beautiful paint. The rims are nice large rims. The lights, of course, traditional fashion, but I would say is the very front here, the way the grille looks. Nice honeycomb to it. It's just a very aggressive looking car, as you can tell. Looks good. We have another A5 Sportback there. But my favorite would just be the sloping in the back. Coming in, it is a little tight back there, so unless you have small kids, you know, with a lot of these vehicles, it's going to be the same thing. The lights towards the back, just a very good looking vehicle. And of course, your remote entry, keyless entry, looks good. Small does not mean necessarily bad. As a very large guy in both ways, I haven't sat in an A3, I'm very excited, but I have sat in A4s before, and I could fit comfortably in there as well. I do fit comfortably in here. It is a little tight, but that's fine. I've sat in a lot tighter vehicles that were not comfortable. And these seats, they make you want to just relax. These nice cushions, I love that. I absolutely love that. Audi did a great job. So that is my non-technical review from someone who's absolutely new to the brand, who's just started working with Audi of the A5. Got those nice slick mirrors there, very good looking. Let's park this on back, and thanks for watching. You can also change the way this looks. Look at that, that's kind of cool. You have your S Performance, Dynamic. Let's change that as well there. Very cool looking. I actually prefer probably the S Performance, just the way that looks. That's kind of nice. So if you were to, yeah, as you can see, it's moving there a little bit. Obviously, if you were to rev, very, very cool looking. And then of course your steering wheel, very nice, solid, soft to the touch. Very good, elegant looking. Someone's looking for that car right there. A5 Sportback as well. As you can see, the lights, just gorgeous. Now obviously they put on the siren to be able to locate that, and there they are, pulling right next to it. But, or maybe someone else is looking for it, but gorgeous, gorgeous LEDs. Yep, there we go, they found it. Sitting inside, very powerful fans, by the way, so let's lower them. Sitting inside, the sound system is just so glorious. It's so amazing. The sound encompasses you all around. Very, very enjoyable to be able to have a nice, fun time with this. Honestly, for something that's not the top spec, this is an awesome car, because this sound system, Bang & Olufsen is right up there with the Bowers and Wilkins. It's right up there. And some cars it may be better, and others it may be worse, but they're both tied neck and neck. It all depends on, you know, how large is the car, how many speakers, the design. Obviously an SUV is going to sound better than a sedan because there's more room for it to go through, but there's just a very, very calming effect to the sound system, especially when you put on Sirius XM Chill. Awesome car. One of my absolute favorite things about Audis. Any Audi with it that's +2 in my book right there.